And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking F1 fights. We are talking when Formula One gets physical. So, three occasions we're going to be talking about today. One of them is fairly recent. One of them fairly far in the past. Another one really in the past. I mean, we're looking at one in the 2010s, one in the late 90s, and one from the 80s. Now, the first one is the most recent, let's be fair, from 2018. So I appreciate you may well want to remember. In one corner, we have Max Verstappen, the now three-time, soon-to-be four, potentially world champion. In the other corner, we have soon-to-be unemployed by the end of the year, unless he gets a drive at the time of recording, Esteban Ocon. Max Verstappen, at the time, he was racing for Red Bull. He was at the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2018. He was looking like he was going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. He was in the lead. Esteban Ocon had just come in, put some soft tyres on, some super fast tyres, and despite being a lap down, was catching Max Verstappen. Hamilton was not too far away from Verstappen. I think I even remember significantly Hamilton basically letting Ocon go. Then Ocon coming into the centre S's side by side did an overtake on Max. Max wasn't obviously too keen, and the two came together at the centre S, thus losing Max, unfortunately, the race. And then after the race, things got a tiny bit heated, as you can see there. Ocon's in the pink, on the weighbridge, and there's Max Verstappen, and oh, whoops, oh no, they just he's pushing him, and he pushes him again off the weighbridge this time. 3 pushes in total, 3 pushes, 3 championships, and there we go, there's the third one again. Yeah, if you want to see that again, here we go. So Max is obviously really, really annoyed at the fact that Ocon cost him the race win, and quite clearly couldn't keep his cool. He had to form from the FIA some kind of public service as well. Such was his, let's be fair, not exactly sportsman-like behaviour. Maybe understandable to some people, but I guess when you're on the top. When you're in the top echelons of the sport, arguably you shouldn't really behave like that. Yeah, I mean, is that? I guess that's fair. So next up, let me paint the picture for you. Number 2 is 1982. The German Grand Prix. Now, I appreciate most of you potentially won't have even been born or a twinkle in your parents' eyes in the 80s. I think I was like 1 year old when this happened, but we've got Nelson Piquet in one corner. In the other corner, we have Salazar. Yes, almost Salazar, almost sounding like a Bond villain, isn't it? So, Nelson Piquet completely loses his rag. Let's set this up for you. Piquet, he is the race-leading Brabham BMW at the time, and he was attempting to, once again, lap. Yes, this involves lapping somebody. And Salazar's, the team at the time, I think ATS, through the OS curve. So if you remember, old Hockenheim, instead of staying within that stadium, used to go right out into the forest and really, really long straights with, fairly tightish chicanes. And unfortunately, as he tried to lap into the OS curve, they had a little whoopsie, and the, as we know, famously hot-headed Piquet didn't take particularly kindly and aimed several punches, and I think even the odd kick, but I'm not sure the kick connected. I think maybe you could watch this with me with Piquet. Here we go. You may hear the dull tones of Murray Walker in the background, and as they are basically about to be, he's about to be lapped. He's just coming out of the chicane now. Is Piquet in the Brabham? He is the car behind, and as we head, I think, towards what is known, I think, as the Oscar. This is it right here. It all goes horribly wrong. Here we go. There's Piquet about to thinking, yeah, I'm quite safe. I'm gonna turn in, and then whoops-a-daisy. I mean, tires everywhere. I think he's tired. Piquet then gets out of his car, very cross, isn't he? And he's like, "What are you doing? Oh my gosh!" And Salazar looking at them. Piquet comes right across, and here we go. Rocky, 1, 2. Kick. Did that kick connect? I want to see. Did that kick actually connect? He comes out, obviously, very, very cross. And we've got, kick and... Oh, no, the kick, I think. The kick did not connect. But there we go. 2 people very, very upset, quite clearly, aren't they? So there's Piquet. And yeah. According to some sources, though, Piquet did later apologise to Salazar, which I think is really, really nice. And it emerged his BMW engine had been about to fail anyway at the engine's manufacturer's home race, and Salazar's intervention had apparently spared them what would have been, because in the lead, and what would have been quite the embarrassing retirement. So that is Nelson Piquet versus Salazar. The next physical-ish confrontation is, oh wow, dare I say, it's not really a physical confrontation as such, but it nearly was. But it's arguably one of the most famous, and it could have cost somebody a world championship when you actually look back at the points. So think of the late 90s. Think of Damon Hill's victory in 1998. But we're not going to be talking about that, and that would be Spa in Belgium. In one corner, you have the, one of the most successful Ferrari driver of all time, Michael Schumacher. In the other corner, in the other corner, you've got, everybody's favourite neighbourhood Scotsman, David Coulthard, and it also involves a lapped car. Let's just show you what happens, shall we? I mean, it was interesting. So here we go. Here's Michael Schumacher, and he's about to lap David Coulthard. I'm just winding it forward for you though. So let's wind it back. Here we go. This is when it happens now. They're coming down the hill. Coulthard stays on the line, and then Michael Schumacher, as Murray Walker shouts, "Oh, God!" Basically turns his Ferrari into a Robin Reliant, of which even Del Boy would be fairly proud. Now here is the physical altercation though, as they're now both coming into the pits. Coulthard minus a rear wing, Michael Schumacher minus a front tire. It shows you how stiff those cars are, the fact that he can actually drive at, a fair lick of speed, given the fact that he's only got 3 tyres on that car. Now, instead of parking it and remaining calm, understandably, Michael Schumacher is now about to get out. And I think this is the crossest, the angriest, yep, that is a word, that I've ever seen Michael Schumacher. And to be fair, I've never seen him this cross. He's absolutely livid. Look, he's taken his helmet off. He's even, we do have some physical. He's even pushing his Ferrari teammate away, and there you can just about see David Coulthard there, and he's having it to do, and he's accusing Coulthard of trying to effing kill him. And the two, particularly Michael Schumacher, had to be separated. I mean, you got Jean Todt there as well. It was an absolutely famous incident, and essentially that cost him 10 points. Now, when you look at how far, and potentially possibly the world championship, because you don't know how it would have panned out afterwards. I mean, not that obviously he can do absolutely anything about it, but I just thought that was quite an interesting one. So, I mean, the classic "Oh, God" for Michael Schumacher is one thing. And the two cars, as I said, we saw them return to the pit, and it was the red mist absolutely descending for Michael Schumacher. So what do you think? What is your most, physicalist moment, or the most physical moment that stands out between two drivers, or even anyone's in Formula One? Comment below, let us know. I'd find it really, really interesting. Anyway, I digress. This has been the Hot Lap. If you like what you see, please give us a subscribe, as I'm searching for the subscribe button now. There it is. Give us a subscribe. I'd very much like that. I'd really, really appreciate it. I comment on every comment, that you guys put in, and it makes me so happy. The fact that you've not only watched some of the stuff that we're doing here, you've even cared enough to comment, and it makes me smile. Even the bad things. But luckily, most people are fairly nice. But still. Anyway, we'll speak to you soon. Stay tuned. We've got the Canadian Grand Prix this week. Speak to you soon.